You're watching Samuel Goodwin on YouTube, and this is behind the scenes. So, yeah, you get to see how I film stuff, how I make a YouTube video. We're gonna go outside and skate because it's cold, but it is dry at least, and hopefully the ramps are dry so that I don't have to fall and hurt myself again. So first we're gonna load everything in the old bag here. I don't need knee pads because we're just going to Tiny Park or Flat Ground. These are for like bowls and stuff. I do need my camera stuff. We have this cube here, so I've got the lenses with me. This is the kit lens, the 18 to 55 millimeter lens that I use for most of the videos, just because it's got image stabilization, so the camera's not quite as wobbly being when I'm hand holding it. I think this is what we'll use for today, but we have space for other lenses, so I'll bring the like 16 millimeter just in case. So this is the smallest camera cube I could find because, you know, the camera's not that big, and even with the lens in there, it's bigger than needed, but it's small enough to fit in my backpack at least, so I went with it. I also have where I got a new tripod, so we're going to try that out today. It's a lot smaller and lighter than the old thing I was using. You can see the difference. This was just the cheapest tripod I could get when I got my camera, but it's not good, and it's already bending in places, and it's big, and it's kind of heavy. So this is much nicer, and I got it on super discount. So if it's good, then that'll make life much easier. So now we just need to put on a lot more clothes and we can go skate. So we thought this would be dry, but you can kind of see behind me, it's definitely not. There's like puddles, and even here on the ramp and stuff, this is like slick, wet. Yeah, I guess we gotta go street skate because this isn't an option still. You would think that it's like dry enough for this to be dry, but it's not. And whatever they painted this with, if it's wet at all, it like weirdly will be the last thing to dry. So off to the street skating that way. So this works pretty great, and normally I have an Indy filter on here, but we got so excited to skate this morning we didn't bring it. Got the bag hanging there for a little extra stability because it is kind of windy out here, and this is pretty solid. This is probably not going anywhere. Pretty happy with it. I'm really still just working on consistently ollieing, which is kind of dumb. Still getting lots of crooked ones and lots of just like totally fail, like not even an ollie. And one day this will be more consistent, but we start with this and then we go somewhere else, but kind of everything else depends on this being more consistent. So it's kind of an important part. Hopefully at some point I get this and it's more reflexive, like you see with a lot of people when they try to ollie. That's not the part they have to think about. One day. Some of these do actually feel pretty good. Some of them are still where I land pretty crooked, but it's slowly getting better. It's sort of working. Next, we'll go somewhere like the steps where you kind of have to ollie, and it's not like here where if you don't do it, you just keep rolling and it's not that big a deal. Because while specifically drilling a thing can sometimes help you get better at it, so can putting yourself in a situation where you just need to do it. That's how I learned to do like kick turns in the bowl, is just make some kind of path where if you don't kick turn, you're gonna like just crash, and then you do it. And then suddenly it's actually not so hard. So maybe by forcing myself over some steps and stuff, we can also help make this a little more consistent. I'm probably not going to get this today, but you get the idea. Pretend that I did it or something. Yeah, some days are really frustrating because I can definitely ollie at least some of the time. And some of the time that I do it, it's even like really fairly high and fairly clean. But it doesn't happen when I try to actually go over the step, which makes it really like sort of frustrating. And you know, then you spend the day thinking like, oh, maybe I can get it, maybe I'm not gonna get it. You try for a while, eventually you get tired, and I'll just have to come back and try it again. Eventually I'll get it. At least by the time it's like 25 degrees and warm outside, then I should be able to do this, I think. I hope. The walk home could be really frustrating when the thing you were trying to do didn't work, but you have to remind yourself that like you have succeeded at some things, you have made some progress, like here, and you know, you just have to keep working, and sometimes it doesn't work right away. So once we've had a chance to eat, we go into the thing, get my handy dandy card reader and my super fast SSD, and we dump all the footage out onto here. With the card from the camera. When I'm editing, I use Final Cut Pro. I could probably use iMovie for most of what I'm doing, but Final Cut Pro gives you more control over things like color editing and stuff. And since this counts as a business expense, I figured I'd go with that. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna edit this down and upload it to YouTube and then tweet about it and stuff. And hopefully you see it and then you watch it. That's the whole process. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully your weekend is nice as well. And hopefully you get something done. Good luck.